What is going on? I hope you're doing well. Your day is going fantastic. I got a word for you right now from the book of Joshua and from the Old Testament as a whole. You know, if you're not reading the Old Testament, do not think that the law is done away with. Do not think that the Old Testament is irrelevant. The Old Testament is so relevant. Anything you find in the new, you're going to find in the old, right? Stuff repeats itself. There are patterns. It is the same God. It is the same mediator. It is the same. Right? You can't have the new without the old. You need to know the old for the symbols, for the metaphors, for the relation, everything. It is the same exact God. And but anyway, let's get right into it, right? In the Old Testament, the Israelites are guided by the Lord, guided by our Father which is in heaven, and by Jesus Christ as the mediator, speaking to them and guiding them through a cloud, through angels. Like, you know, we'll get into all that. But whenever the Israelites are being righteous, whenever they're following the commands of the Lord, they are succeeding. God is on their side. I mean, I'm reading in Joshua, 10 through 12 right now, and it's insane. Like, the amount of people that the Israelites killed, the amount of nations that came against them and that were just smoked so easily by these Israelites, right? It said this one, a king from okay, I think it's still good. It was just, I just got a 20% thing, but a king from Heshbon, I think it was, he gathered a bunch, like 5 different kingdoms up, and it said the amount of people, they came to war against Israel, because Israel had been killing and smoting and taking over land. They came to war against Israel. They were the number of the sand, right? It was as if, the amount of sand on the beach, insane amount. And the Lord just said, do not fear, be courageous. I've handed them into your arms. And they smote, 5 different kings, 5 different armies, all coming together against them, just one small Israelite nation. And they smote them so easily. Not a person was left alive. They took over their cities. They burned their cities. All of that. And it's all because they were in obedience. It's all because they were acting righteous. When we're in chapter 11 of Joshua in verse 15, it says, he left nothing undone of all that the Lord commanded Moses. Joshua had done everything that the Lord commanded Moses, which Moses had told Joshua, hey, you need to be doing this. He gave him the commandments of the Lord, and Joshua has been obeying up until now, obeying all of them. And because of that, nation after nation, land after land, just been handed into his hand, been handed into the hands of the Israelites. And it's because they have been obedient. And we see as we go along in the Old Testament, as we go back as well, when the Israelites are traveling through the wilderness, traveling through the desert, and when they're disobedient, the Lord sends plagues. The Lord, when they're disobedient, the Israelites' enemies are smiting them. The Israelites' enemies are winning easily, and the Israelites just fall at their hands. But when they are obedient, the enemies fall at their hands without even, without a snap of their fingers. Like, it's just insane. And it shows how much righteousness and obedience is necessary for the Lord to be on our side. It's necessary. If you go all throughout the Old Testament, every time, right, the Israelites are either they're in the kingdom, they're ruling Jerusalem, they're ruling the nation, because they're being righteous, because they're being obedient. And when they disobey, when they start going into lust, when they start giving into their flesh, when they start being disobedient to the Lord, that's when all these other nations come in and destroy them easily and take over easily. And that's such a good metaphor, and still one that applies today. If you're being obedient, if you're being righteous, there's nothing that could come against you. If you're acknowledging God in all of your ways, there's nothing that could come against you. If you are living for the Lord in all of your ways, there's nothing that could really hurt you. Everything happens for your greater good, right? Everything works for the greater good of those who love him. And those who love him follow his commandments. So all who obey him, everything will work for your greater good. And you know that you're not opening any doors to demons, any doors to the evil ones. You're not opening any evil doors, any portals where people can come in and do stuff that the Lord allows. Because everything that he allows is in love. Everything that he allows when you're obeying him is for your greater good. And so we need to be righteous. We need to be obedient. We need to hearken into the voice of the Lord to live our best lives, for us to be taken care of, for us to be watched over and looked after, and just supplied with everything that we need. right? And he's gonna supply us, right? He tells us not to think about food, not to think about clothes, not to think about water, any of that, because he'll supply it. He knows what we need. It says, seek ye the kingdom and his righteousness first. If you're seeking his righteousness, if you're seeking perfection, if you're seeking his kingdom and sanctification and holiness, and you're seeking to obey his commands 24/7, then he will supply you with absolutely everything you need. You don't need to think about it. You need to work for it. Like, he'll give you everything. All right, you might need to work for it, but he's going to give you everything, and that's just the importance of righteousness. We must be obedient. It's not just in the Old Testament. It is completely today and forever. And that's about it. Just a quick little chill little message for you, but at the same time, very, very serious, very, very necessary for us to know. For obedience is necessary. Righteousness is necessary. We must be seeking holiness and perfection every single day of our lives, repenting and changing and getting better every single day of our lives. I pray this video exhorted you, pray it edified you. I hope you have an amazing, amazing rest of your day, rest of your nights. It is absolutely beautiful where I am, so I know I will be outside much, man, enjoying the wonderful earth that our Father has provided us with. Man, God is so good, and this world is so beautiful, right? The natural world, nature is so beautiful, and let us enjoy it. Let us enjoy it and glorify God in all of our ways. I love you. Stay faithful. Peace out.